Michael is a great friend of Autism Speaks, and we're very happy to have him join us today. Everyone, shake your pom-poms for Michael Williams.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So good to be here. With your pom-poms, all of them raised at once. Just once, we'll all talk out loud. Say together again. Yeah. Doesn't it feel great to be out with this beautiful community? Welcome again, because it's a sensory-friendly event. We will say, instead of clapping, pom-poms, let's see who's ambidextrous. Put them in the other arm in case that one gets tired. Switch them over, I'm talking, yeah, there you go. All right, we want pom-poms waving all the time today. Such a pleasure to have you here, to see all of you, because at the end of the day, we love our sponsors, we love all the speakers who will be up here today, but we're here because of you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and the hundreds upon hundreds of you who've gathered here today. This event is about your courage, your hearts, your love, your support for your children and young adults and older adults on the autism spectrum. It's about what each and every one of you do every single day of your lives. And if this is a beautiful representation of that this day, we're reminded that 24/7, 365, you all are doing the loving work, the caring work, the giving work, the courageous work. And I know that personally because, as many of you know, my nephew Michael was diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum 21 years ago. And there were resources then, but not to the caliber of what we have today. And we'll talk about why that happened, but ultimately it happened because of you. And I saw a loving family dealing with challenges, whether it was insurance or school or care. And I know many of you have dealt with many of the same things. And I saw a family that unflinchingly, my twin sister Carol, my brother-in-law Mark, and my niece Dana, who said, we're gonna make a difference in Michael's life. I saw the courage in a niece who said, I'm gonna go on to become a speech pathologist, which she's now doing that work because I want to help people like Michael. That's the kind of courage I see in all of you, saying together, each and every one of us make a difference. So put your pom-poms together, because today we celebrate you. So wonderful to have you here. And now I'd like to introduce some wonderful students from the Palm Beach School for Autism. They're going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this day. So put your pom-poms together to welcome them out on stage. There you go. Just wonderful to have them here. Fantastic. And have them all gather. Great, and stand by. All right. Now, also with the Air Force Junior ROTC Color Guard from Lake Worth Community High School, please come to the stage.
Happy birthday to Frank, America, to Bobby, to BJ, Mary Day, other time, little people, community, a title bar.
Thank you so much for that beautiful recitation of the pledge. Put your pom-poms together one more time for them. Also for our wonderful color guard. So honored to have all of them here today. Just beautiful. And now, very special pleasure for me to introduce to you Joel Solomon. Joel's a young adult with Asperger's syndrome. He's an active volunteer in the autism community, and Joel is here today to sing the national anthem. So your undivided attention, please. Joel Solomon.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous us fight. O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Put those pom-poms together. What a beautiful rendition of the national anthem. And to our color guard and to those who recited the Pledge of Allegiance, just so honored to have them with us here today. I know it's sensory friendly, but for my next introduction, you'll probably have to let a little applause and a hoo-yah out, because I have the singular honor to introduce a gentleman. Shh. If there's one moment in the program, shh, where I'd like your absolute undivided attention. Many of you know personally, but let me assure each and every one of you singly, we walk a path today with more resources, more opportunity, more attention, more concern, more ability to make a difference in the lives of those on the autism spectrum. In many ways, we walk that journey because it's a path that was created, nurtured, paved, one day at a time, one commitment at a time, year by year, by the gentleman I'm about to introduce, Bob Wright, former chairman and CEO of NBC Universal. He and his wife, Suzanne, who smiles on us from heaven today, learned that their grandson, Christian, was on the spectrum. And after a stellar career, could have easily said, we're just going to take care of Christian. But they didn't. They said, we're going to make a life difference in the lives in the global community, beginning locally, and the lives of children and young adults everywhere. We're going to create this organization, Autism Speaks. We're going to bang on every door, all the way up to the White House, all the way across the globe. Why? So that for your children, your young adults, they can have a different life, more resources, better resources. So I know it's a sensory-friendly event, but I really would like you all, just this once, for Bob and his wife Susan, who has joined him, and they're both integral parts of the spirit, the passion, and the commitment here. And it is so wonderful for me now to welcome Bob Wright and Susan Wright to the stage. If you're ever going to put your hands together and let your voices sing thank you, let it be right now for Bob Wright and Susan. Oh, we could do better than that.
Florida's #1 newsman, and we're going to get one that's worth. Okay. Are we on? I don't know if we're on. Can you people hear me? Oh, okay, great, terrific. I want to thank Channel 5 for lending us Florida's #1 newsman, Michael. Michael is absolutely brilliant, and he's been with us all many years, and he does a lot for autism. I want to thank all you people. We've had some good things happen in the last couple of years that are very meaningful. We have, and some of you see it. Autism Speaks has created a number of awareness programs, and a lot of them are seen in sports programs. If you've seen pieces about Autism Speaks in a major league hockey, everyone. They're running autism pieces. We never thought we'd be able to get to do that. Now we do that through the Ad Council, which I got us in the Ad Council in 2007, and we are a major player in the Ad Council. We produce pieces that you'll see on television now, and in television shows, and in sports especially. That is a huge thing to be able to have that, and they pay for it. The Ad Council pays for it, and it's a great piece.
Bob, excuse me, Bob.
Pardon me?
Bob, hold on a second. Ladies and gentlemen, we really need your undivided attention. There should be no talking right now. This gentleman deserves the respect that he's earned. Thank you.
Well, don't worry. You don't have to listen to every word, and so I just want to thank you for coming. The walks are so important to me, and everybody. It's a time when the parents can have the children, can have the dogs, and nobody's concerned about anything, and everybody has a very, very good time. And I hope that maybe today that maybe we get about 3,000 people in the walk. We'll take whatever we have, but 3,000 would be a great number. It's open. Florida has been open. One of the only states in the country that has no restrictions. So it was during the whole time the only state in the country that was wide open. Well, I want to say that there's an awful lot being done. We have a group called Ambassadors, and these ambassadors go down and see to they go to the Capitol Hill, go to Senate and congressional people. We have 180 ambassadors from all the states, and this last week they were in Washington, and they saw every single person that was there, elected person, got the speeches for more and better research. We do get a huge amount of funding from the government, and so our ambassadors, if any of them are here, they will maybe. Thank you for that. I want to have an opportunity now to do something that really is important. We have a new president of Autism Speaks, Keith Wargo. And Keith is here, and he's going to be talking right when I shut up here. And his wife, Ann, I've had a couple of meetings with him, and yesterday I had lunch for both of them, along with Susan is with me. And they are a really spectacular couple. They have autism. They have a son with autism, almost the same age as my Christian. And he has been 27 years on Wall Street, and he's retired, and he picks up, he's now the president. By the way, he doesn't get any more money for being the president than I do. Nothing. But we get gratitude, and he is a very smart guy, and we are really, really lucky to have him. And his wife, she's not dynamo just like he is. So I think he's going to speak. His name is Keith Wargo, and he lives in New Jersey, which is a good place for autism. There's a lot of people that do a good job there, and he has been. He's going to he's going to take us through, I hope, for the next 10 or 20 years. And he's got all the ability to do it. You will be impressed with his enthusiasm and his drive for getting everything done in a grand manner. So with that said, I want to thank you. I want to introduce you to Keith Wargo. Mr. President. This is Anna's wife. She also is a dynamo.
Thank you. Gotta adjust this. Okay. Thank you so much. It is so great to be here. As Bob just said, we're from New Jersey, which means three things. We have not seen open situations like this. We're not as open a state as Florida is. We haven't had 3,000 people, so to look out at this crowd, it's just it's fantastic. Secondly, it's about 60 degrees colder in New Jersey right now than it is here in beautiful Florida. And finally, this is the first event that I've attended as the CEO for Autism Speaks, the first walk here with my wife. So it's really special for me to be here today. It's really special for us to be here today. And to see this community out and rallying is both energizing and inspiring. I want to thank Bob and Susan and the Wright family for the continued dedication to the mission support. We wouldn't be here were it not for Bob and Suzanne's vision 15 plus years ago. Ann and I have been direct beneficiaries of that vision and that mission, and it's why we're here today. I also want to thank Marla Garchik and Lisa Harrison for their leadership of the walk today, the walk planning committee, and the literally hundreds of volunteers that have come out, and the resilience of bringing this back together. We're all coming back together. Again, Florida, you guys are a little bit ahead of us in the Northeast, but from my perspective, we're all coming back together. I want to acknowledge my wife, Ann, my partner for 27 years. She is truly the energy and the brains of the operation. As Bob alluded to, we've lived the journey. Our son, AJ, is 23. He's angry that we didn't bring him down. We probably should have brought him down. Next year, we will. AJ was diagnosed at 3 years old. He, in the middle of the pandemic, graduated from high school and started his first job. He's made tremendous progress, and we're very proud of him. As I said, this is my first walk in Palm Beach, and one of my first walks as CEO. Ann and I had the pleasure of having lunch yesterday with Bob and Susan, and I have to say, it's both an honor to lead this organization and to follow in Bob's footsteps, and the tremendous work that he and so many have done over the last 15 plus years. I like to say on the back of our business card, it reads, we're here to help. And we are. And for many, we're the first place that people go to for help. And there's several ways I just want to highlight that we have impact. We all know that early diagnosis is critical. And for 400,000 people a year, they come to us to use our autism screener. For many, it's the first step to assessment. 400,000 people every year. The line I use in New York is that's half the number of students there are in the New York City public school system. I don't know what the number down is here, but 400,000 is an awful lot of people. 70,000 people speak to us through our autism response team every year. They're looking for local referrals. They're looking for local recommendations. And we're the only organization that provides that sort of personalized information and service. Lastly, we're the go-to source for resources around milestones, be they diagnosis, education, transition, adult transition, school placements. We're the only organization focused on the entire lifespan, and we know that the community needs these resources, and we know it because 1 million downloads of those resources happen off of our website every year. 1 million people come looking for something that we can provide. We also know that the community continues to evolve, and as it does, so do we. We're bringing pathway employments to over 20 cities, bringing together employees, or so those seeking employment, employers, and community leaders. We're starting research on the impact of aging on autism, recognizing that Adults with autism, like our son AJ, will continue to age, and we continue to need to do work to understand their specific health needs. Finally, as Bob alluded to, we're super proud of our advocacy efforts, which have been a cornerstone since our founding. We're investing in and expanding our grassroots efforts. We have 2,500 grassroots advocates and 425 advocates who just last week, many were spending time doing over 1,000 meetings on Capitol Hill with our lawmakers. So as I come to a close, just a simple message. We're here to help. We remain as committed to that as we have been for the last 15 years. You're here to help. Your support today means the world to us. You coming out after the last two and a half years, you're coming out to be here to support us means the world. And thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Have an awesome day in this beautiful weather.
Thank you both. Keith, thank you so much, and for your leadership. We're so lucky to have you. And as I said at the outset, so lucky to have each and every one of you. But we also know this event that allows all of us to come together does not just happen. The planning for this is 365 days a year, and the resources after we all leave the walk today are 365 days a year. I'd like to introduce two people who've been foundational to the success we've had locally and regionally. Right now, put your pom-poms together, direct your attention to the stage for the 2022 Walk Chairs, Marla Garchik and Lisa Harrison.
Happy Walk Day! It's wonderful to see everyone here this morning. My name is Marla Garchik, and it is an honor and a privilege to be a part of the Autism Speaks community. Every year, it overwhelms me to stand here looking out at all of you and feeling your love and support for each other. I would like everyone here to just take a moment and look around you and understand you are not alone, and your children with autism are not alone. They are surrounded by a community of love, hope, acceptance, and inclusion. We walk today in their honor. We are grateful for Autism Speaks. Because of them and because of all of you, we are empowering people with autism and their families from time of diagnosis through adult life. Together, the power of empathy grows compassion, inclusion, kindness, understanding, and acceptance for people with autism here in our community and worldwide. We know that being inclusive can be life-changing. We are walking with the hope that comes from knowing what we are capable of. Today, we walk together towards a common goal. We walk so that when a family hears the words, your child has autism, there will be so many options and answers available that they will not feel alone. We walk to educate and advocate for others. We walk for families who need us. We are working together to create a world that is more understanding and accepting for all people with autism. We must also not forget that our children with autism have something to say, even if they don't have the words to say it. If you are walking today with someone with autism, please take this moment to tell them directly that you love them, that you honor them, and that you are listening with your whole heart. I now ask that you join me in thanking our amazing sponsors. Heartfelt gratitude to our presenting sponsors, my husband, Steve Garchik, and the Garchik Family Foundation, and to South Florida Ford. Thank you to our gold sponsors, Menon, Novamex, Nelson Mullins. Thank you to our silver sponsors, Terrell Productions, Venture Construction, Behavioral Family Solutions, the Bender Foundation. Thank you to our bronze sponsors, Searcy, Denny, Scarola, Barnhart, and Shipley, to Ruth and Norman Rails, Jewish Family Services, and to the Pector Family Foundation. And thank you to our media sponsor, WPTV. And thank you all to our service providers and our in-kind sponsors, Dunkin' Donut, Costco, and the Old School Bakery. Now, I'd like to introduce my amazing co-chair and dear friend, Lisa Harrison, an inspiration and autism warrior who fights every day not only for her child, but to be a voice for all of our children.
My name is Lisa Harrison, and I'm extremely proud and honored to again be the co-chair of the Autism Speaks Walk for the 6th year with Marla. What an amazing woman who inspires me each and every day. I can't even begin to explain how extraordinary and emotional it is to get to look out to each and every one of you in person today. We missed seeing so many of your smiling faces last year. I know that we each have our own story, and no story is the same. But one thing we all have in common is that we want acceptance, awareness, inclusion, and kindness for our children and our family members. Today is an extremely special day because Autism Speaks has brought us together to not only celebrate our loved ones, but also celebrate each other. After everything we've all been through the last few years, this morning we get to be surrounded by people who understand our story, who we don't have to apologize if there's a meltdown or if something happens. We get to take a deep breath and know we're a part of a family that embraces the differences among us. I'm always asked, why do you walk and raise money for Autism Speaks year after year? And my answer is that when our amazing little boy Hudson was first diagnosed at 18 months old, and crazy to think he's 11 now, Autism Speaks 100-Day Toolkit helped me walk through the beginning of our autism journey. So when we first started participating in raising money, we did it to show our support for Hudson, who is positively changing our lives and who continues to positively change the lives around him. Over the years, we have seen why early diagnosis, therapy, research, advocacy, love, and a caring support network are all critical in facilitating a child with autism to lead a complete and fulfilling life. I started my journey wanting to create a brighter future for Hudson. I now co-chair the walk and raise money because I want to help be your voice in a world where so many of our family members and friends don't have voices. I want to be here to stand up for you today and make a difference in your world and the world around us, not just for Hudson, but for all the children, teens, and adults on the spectrum. As an organization, we want to promote solutions across the spectrum and throughout the lifespan for the needs of people with autism and their families. As individuals, we all want to know that there's a brighter future and a world for our children and families to reach their full potential. Our autism journey shows us that we can't do this alone. We need others to help us get through some days, to cheer us on our victories and support us through our hurdles. So thank you to my Hudson Heroes Village. I could not do this journey without you. Today, as we walk part of each of families' lives, we lean on each other. Ooh, we smile. And we understand our differences. We hope for both big and small victories and work together to better the lives of our children and our family. As a community, this is what makes our walk so incredible. We look around today and we are surrounded by love, by hope, by kindness, acceptance, and most importantly, inclusion. We are a community of amazing individuals who come together to bring awareness, advocacy, acceptance, and inclusion for some very special individuals in our life. As a team with Autism Speaks, there's no limit with what we can accomplish. Together, we are not only walking and raising money for our own families and loved ones, but for a brighter future and world for all of those affected by autism. I went from walking for a very special little boy, Hudson, to walking for a community filled with love. So as you look around, know that we are your family and we are all rooting for each other. Autism Speaks could not achieve this mission without you. We appreciate you being here with us today, and thank you for every dollar you have raised. There are a few people joining us on stage today who have made extraordinary contributions and results. I am so proud to announce the top 10 teams and top 10 schools this year. Jack Garchick's crew with our top walkers as Jack and Marla Garchick. We have Christian Crusaders, which is the Wright family. We have Emilio Tolero with Andrea and Emilio. We have We Walk for V with Leticia Pinedo Rodriguez. Yay! American Heritage, Palm Beach Campus, Gabby Barricos. My mom, Rosetta Melchior. Zeta Phi Beta Sorority and Lambda Beta Zeta, Flossie Jackson and Kay Islet. Tyler's Mitzvah Project, Nicole and Tyler Blum. Alamanda Elementary, Corey Ferreira. Manatee Elementary, Emily Frachel. Diamond View Elementary, led by Brianna Riley and top walker Carrie Kurt. Palm Beach School for Autism, led by Chad Klitz and top walker Ashley Ventura. And Lake Worth Trojans, Jackie Foley. Thank you so much. Shake your pom-poms and show your appreciation for all of their support.
Beautiful. Let's put her. Let's. Here we go. Slight battery issue, no big deal. Let's put our pom-poms together one more time for our top schools and for just a wonderful group, top fundraisers and teams. Everybody put your pom-poms together, come on. There we go. All right, we're getting close to the walk. DJ Carlos, getting ready to play some music. Marla and Lisa, please join me back at the podium. And everyone, if you're not near the stage area, come closer. It means our amazing sponsors in the tent too. Please come closer and join us as well. And Carlos, bring up that music.
See.
Lisa, come back here. We walk today to support the work of Autism Speaks. And we gather today as a loving community, supportive of those in our family, supportive of all of those in this community, a community of people in the spectrum, families, friends, and service providers together as always.
The spectrum and the lifespan of our loved ones, we are working together to create a world that is more understanding and accepting for all people with autism.
We honor all of you today. We now take a moment to celebrate what is very special about each of you. Remember that today, instead of cheering and yelling, we are recognizing each special group by shaking our pom-poms.
For our walkers on the autism spectrum, the sky truly is the limit on this beautiful day. We're reminded of it anew as we gather together yet again. It's about reaching your full potential. It's about all of us helping one another reach that full potential. You're the reason we're all here. You're our love. You're our inspiration. We thank you. Let's shake our pom-poms together wherever you are in the crowd.
For the parents of a person with autism, you are the very heart of your family, and you show your love in everything you do in a big and small ways. You are special too. Let's show our appreciation by tapping our hearts with our pom-poms.
For the siblings and friends of people with autism, you are amazing cheerleaders and buddies. We rely on you for our friendship and love. Let's show our thanks for shaking our pom-poms.
And we know it's not just the direct family, it's all the extended family, the grandparents, the other family members, all your relatives, all making a difference, coming together and saying, on this day, in this journey, in these lives, we together come together to always make that difference.
And we know we can't do it alone. We have service providers in our community that help us every day, who help us navigate our journey and gain small victories along the way. Let's thank our service providers by shaking our pom-poms.
Now, take a look around and notice the smiles, the laughter, the hope. This is a community bounded together by love. In a way, all of us here today are family. We understand each other's joys and challenges on this day. One thing remains constant. We are a family that loves. We are united.
So well said, and now it's almost time to start the walk. I see some people making their way, but before you do, let's shake your pom-poms. Let's join together for what's going to be a silent countdown, and on each number that goes down to 0, shake your pom-poms as we have our silent countdown right now. All right. And to my dear friend Charlene Mayville, who's been such a wonderful stage organizer, thank you. And where's Bernie? Ah, there's Bernie hiding behind the, holding the number 5, of course. Bernie O'Grady, two of the great people at Channel 5. Let's make our way to the starting line, everybody. We're going to go on down there and get it officially underway. Walk now for Autism Speaks. Let's all walk together, strong in spirit and support of one another.